Russia is pitching a big idea. They want New Delhi not just to buy the Su-57 stealth fighters, but also to manufacture and even export them, effectively turning the country into a regional aerospace hub, stamped Made in India. Sounds ambitious, right? Well, that's exactly what Moscow is pushing for. Russia knows the Su-57, its export variant, hasn't found many takers. Sanctions, isolation, and doubts about its performance have made selling it difficult. So what's the fix? Hand the production keys to India, let New Delhi become the export hub. And this isn't just about buy a few jets. Russia is dangling the big prize: technology transfer, source code access, local assembly, and even the right for India to integrate its own weapons like Astra and BrahMos. That's rare. For Moscow, it solves a problem. For India, this could be an opportunity, but only if played wisely. The initial offering includes 20 to 30 jets supplied immediately, followed by 60 to 100 or more locally produced Su-57 fighters over the next few years, a potential stopgap before India's own AMCA comes online. However, India has been down this road before. During the FGFA program, Russia repeatedly refused to share critical software codes and full technology, leaving India frustrated and forced to accept only partial tech transfer. India won't repeat that mistake. If India can get the Su-57E built locally, it boosts jobs, builds technology know-how, and puts India on the map as not just a buyer, but a producer of top-tier defense hardware. But India isn't going to accept just any deal. Delhi is reportedly demanding full access to the fighter source codes, integration of its own radars, and the ability to arm the Su-57 with Indian-made weapons. In other words, India wants control. If it's going to invest billions, it's not signing up to be a screwdriver assembly line. From Russia's perspective, this partnership makes sense. Moscow is under sanctions, its defense industry is cut off from Western markets, and it needs both cash and credibility. By working with India, it gets access to a massive market, political cover, and a chance to show the world that the Su-57 is still relevant. India has already collaborated with Russia in the past on fighter jet manufacturing, most notably with the Su-30 MKI, which today forms the backbone of the Indian Air Force. Now, why should India even consider this? Let's look at the alternatives. The US has the F-35, but recently the fighter jet has shown the world that it is more of a problem than a solution. Europe's fighter programs are either too expensive or years away. India's own stealth program, the AMCA, is in development, but it won't be combat-ready for at least a decade. That leaves a gap. The Su-57 could be a bridge to fill that gap, if the deal is structured right. But here comes the geopolitical chessboard. If India takes this deal, Washington won't be happy. The US has already pressured India in the past, like when it forced Delhi to stop buying oil from Iran. And we all know how much noise America makes about Russian defense exports. In the past, it was believed that the US needed India as a counterweight to China. But the new administration has shown that it does not truly value the strategic relationship. In fact, the recent rift between India and the US mirrors the Nixon-era tensions, when Washington was openly hostile toward India while remaining much closer to Pakistan. This only proves that, no matter the timeline, the US cannot be a reliable partner for India, simply because India follows the principle of strategic autonomy. On the other hand, the partnership between India and Russia has only moved in an upward trajectory. So what's the risk? For one, there's the question of quality. Russia's track record with timelines, spare parts, and delivery schedules isn't exactly spotless. Plus, the Su-57 itself is untested in large-scale combat, unlike the F-35, which has multiple operators worldwide. Betting big on Russian tech could be a gamble if India doesn't secure guarantees. The second risk is geopolitics. Becoming an export hub means India could be selling Su-57s to other countries. That may sound great for defense diplomacy, but it could trigger pushback from the US and its allies, especially if those customers clash with Western interests. Yet, despite these risks, the opportunity is hard to ignore. For India, this isn't just about getting another fighter jet. It's about leverage. Owning the production line of a fifth-generation fighter would give India strategic depth, bargaining power, and the ability to chart its own course in global defense markets. So where do we land? Russia wants India because it needs sales. India might want Russia because it needs tech. But the success of this partnership depends on one thing: whether India negotiates from a position of strength. If New Delhi gets full tech transfer, integration of local systems, and freedom to export, then the Su-57 could be more than a Russian fighter. It could become India's ticket to the big league of defense manufacturing. And that's the bigger picture. It's not just about planes, it's about power. And if the US doesn't like it, well, maybe Washington should stop acting like the world's arms salesman-in-chief before pointing fingers at anyone else.